everyone, I am Rebecca from ChemKnits, and it's time to leave no dye behind. I have been playing around recently with a bunch of different paint brushes in various capacities using food coloring, and really I'm just rinsing off some of that color right here to start off with. The three colors that we have left over today are from the Wilton Colorite system. We've got base crimson and base orange. Each of these started with 10 drops of that liquid food coloring in the relevant mixture, and then maybe a third of it was used up in a project. We also have some leftover Wilton's Violet food coloring of a unknown concentration. The dye bath has a lot of vinegar in it. A lot of vinegar, and maybe it has a little bit of warmth, but it is definitely not hot yet. And we're gonna add some cool yarn that has just been pre-wet. So right here with that removable zip tie, I have some KnitPicks Swish DK yarn. This yarn is 100% Superwash Merino, and it has been pre-wet, which basically just means that I just dunked it into a rinse bath so it could have some wetness to it. And let's see, this color we've got is interesting. There's definitely some dry patches in here. In general, this is a yarn that does soak up color pretty quickly. I'm probably also making a little bit of a tangled mess right now, but we've got this sort of terracotta orange color, which is nice because a lot of times with food coloring we get a lot of brights, and this tone is a lot more muted. It's very caramel colored. Yeah, it's still like a very warm brown. And as for breaking, I mean, it's cool and things are definitely striking, but we've got even enough coverage that I'm not anticipating we're going to see a lot of breaking. If I were to have dip dyed our yarn in this mixture, there's no question there would be breaking. With a combination of yellows, reds, and blues, you're gonna see different hues. That is just the nature of how artificial food coloring available in the USA works. When I started this project, I was a little torn because part of me wanted to layer these colors. I have a lot of video ideas that I really want to do. Well, okay, I'm gonna let this sit. I'm gonna let it heat up over 15 minutes and come back and check, and I guess I'll pop in front of the camera since I'm gonna be chatting. Today is April 9th, 2020, and to be honest, I've sat here, filmed something probably 3 other times and deleted it every time because I'm a bit at a loss. My thoughts are all over the place, and to be honest, I'm exhausted. But I know that as things are so different right now, and as like I'm trying to film with my kids upstairs resting because it's rest time, or maybe then Keats with them, it's just things are harder. And I know it's not just harder for me, I know it's harder for everyone, but I am thankful that I still have some ways to play with color. These techniques might be less complex than some of the ones that are my favorite. They might be a little faster, the videos might be a little shorter, but I know that if I'm still able to play with color, that is good for my mental health and hopefully is creating something that you guys enjoy as well. And I love when I create a color that is more muted with food coloring. That really does excite me. It just would have been a little more fun to have done like 3 layers and watch the color come out, or something that involved a little more complexity. But I want you to know that for each video that I want to film that is more complex, I am filling out my notebook with ideas. I am thinking of ideas and planning them out, and I know that there will be a someday when my kids can go to their grandparents' house again, or they can go back to school. I mean, someday, who knows? And then I can go back to like our more complicated speckle experiments and things like that that are just, it's harder to film when I have just a couple hours in the morning with the kitchen to myself. Since I'm in a confessional, I think that when schools were canceled, I expected it to be hard. But I think I thought that it would be hard like a snow day to kind of hard. I don't think I appreciated that it was going to be hard in a, oh, I'm now their teacher kind of hard. And so I like teaching them a lot. It's a lot of fun. And Lucas, gosh, he is impressing me, and the things he's showing me, he can do things that I didn't know he's capable of right now. And there's something magical about that. But the reality is that, you know, that's where my time is going, and I'm not editing while they're watching TV. I'm trying to find some positive moments in all of this with the time that we spend together. And don't get me wrong, I'm still making content and I still am filming and I'm still editing. It just feels different. And I know that I'm going to have to give myself permission to let some things go if I'm going to make it through this time. I haven't made any like decisions or anything yet, and I'm still planning on trying to make and release 2 new videos every single week. But I know that in this time, as we, and I know a lot of you are trying to be home and do everything for your family and for your job and for your passions and for yourself, that at some point we need to look down and see, okay, maybe this isn't going to be just 6 weeks of something hard. Maybe it's going to be longer than that. And so there's the timer on that yarn. So maybe it is going to be longer, and therefore things that you thought, okay, I can manage this for, you know, this period of time, we need to come up with something that is more sustainable to make it through. And yeah, so that's sort of what I'm thinking about right now. I know that well, I'm excited for some of this April gloom weather to go away, so then I can move some things outside. And I think that since I clearly can't do things that have shorter time scales but more steps that sort of need that bigger stretch of time, maybe I'll be shifting things to some more longer time scales. Maybe we'll start doing some more natural dyeing and have things that sit for 24, 48 hours, so that way I can create things that are new, that are experimental, but fit within this new normal a little better, instead of trying to do what I always do in this different situation. So that is my little, I guess, therapy confessional session about what's going through my head. I now have no idea what it is I actually said until I go edit this, because again, I filmed and deleted this so many times. But I hope that this moment of reflection, tied into a leave no die behind and throwing everything into one pot, is interesting. I guess that's just the way to put it. But yeah, let me know if there's any good outside ideas that you guys have for me. I mean, I'm a bit limited in terms of natural dyes to what I have, but I've got lilac bushes that are going to need trimming. I've got some other things that are blooming. We'll have rhubarb coming at some point. So spring is bringing growth, is bringing hope, and I just have to shift my goals and my perspective a little bit. So yeah. All right, let's go check the yarn. Let's check. Oof. Okay, we have cleared. I'm actually going to leave this in the pot. This is a beautiful semi-solid rust colored. On camera, it's looking a little more yellow. In person, it reminds me of Dharma Fawn Brown, actually. I think it is really, really pretty, and hopefully this might excite some of you who have been asking for some more brown colors. Brown with food coloring is actually kind of hard because it breaks, and this is something fairly unbroken. So, of course, it's a leave no die behind, and I have no idea of the proportions of anything, but a good old cool splash of vinegar at the beginning can always help. Anyway, I'll let this cool completely and then we can wash it. what do you get when you mix purple, orange, and red? Some might say mud, but we've got this beautiful terracotta orange color that I'm so excited to see dry. Now, quick caution, like I wouldn't let this dry in direct sunlight. We're getting some direct sunlight in here, but it is filtered through a window. I've seen more issues with direct sunlight outside without anything in between it, but the place where I dry my yarn is not in direct sunlight. But anyway, I'm not seeing any color bleeding. I added some dish soap, which I am going to rinse out, and then we're going to put this yarn through my automated spin dryer and hang it up to dry out of direct sunlight. But man, I get excited sometimes when we get something more muted, and I'd still put this in the orange category. And I don't know, people worry about brown. Brown is a beautiful color, but we're still very much in an orange category here. Anyway, we'll be back soon as this yarn is dry. I'm trying to think of what color this yarn reminds me of. Maybe it's saffron spice. In terms of acid dyes, it is a beautiful sort of bricky orange, a burnt orange. It's not bright, but it has that depth to it. It's not brown completely, but it's brownish orange. I'm not sure. Whatever it is a beautiful, rich tone. Another thing about this tone is that it's not broken. It is possible to have some violet in the mix and end up with colors that aren't broken. Nevertheless, we've got a beautiful semi-solid tonal here that would work up great for a lot of different complex stitch projects. I am Rebecca from ChemKnits, and I really hope you enjoyed this little leave no dye behind, as I took leftover dye and mixed it all together, and this is what we ended up with. I love throwing things together in one pot and seeing the colors that come out, even if it means that I can't replicate them. And sometimes I like the color so much I really wish that I could replicate it. But nevertheless, I just have so much fun. And if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to the ChemKnits Tutorials YouTube channel. You can even smash that bell icon to have your notifications on. This will give you notifications when I release a new video, which are regularly scheduled for Tuesday and Friday mornings. But we also do unboxings, and sometimes those are last minute, and I don't give people very much notice. So if your notifications are on, you won't miss an opportunity to chat with me live while we're talking about yarn and life. Mostly yarn though. If you're already a huge fan of ChemKnits and want other ways to help support the content here on the channel, well, I mean, leave comments below. That is awesome and really helps. But you can go and check out the ChemKnits Patreon. If you don't know, Patreon is a platform that connects fans with content creators, and it's a way to subscribe to them and contribute financially on a monthly basis. And in exchange, I offer some really cool perks like early access to new videos, behind the scenes sneak peeks, and more. You can find more information about the Patreon in the video description and the iCard, which is that little symbol in the top right-hand corner of your screen. I am currently attempting to film this in between dog barks. That one was small, but he keeps interrupting me, so I'm trying to get through these conclusions. I hope that you are all doing really well. I have no idea when this video will be published, but right now I'm filming the conclusions in mid-April 2020, and we're doing okay. So I'm wishing a huge social distant hug from me to all of you. I know that there's a lot of uncertainty right now, but I hope that through these videos maybe I can help make you smile. Leave your comments below. I love answering your questions and reading your comments and hearing what you think. And I'm so excited to start filming the next video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone.